particular randomizer before, first of all, where have you been? But to explain it, we take the original game of Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, beloved by many in our childhoods and afterwards, and we mix everything up. We're going to see exactly what items everyone gives us, including through this escape sequence where Uncle actually gives us a randomized weapon to get through instead of the usual sword.
Right, so what do you think the weapon's going to be this time?
Well, I don't want to be too hard on them, but also I know that they're both capable of doing very well with anything we give them. I personally am a fan of seeing how people handle bombs to start out with, just because the time difference that can have between good bomb strats and bad bomb strats is huge compared to any other weapon that we get.
Very true. I'm personally a fan of Cane of Samaria. Oh, and speak of the devil.
Burn the witch! You predicted it!
Well, the Cane of Samaria is a whole lot of fun, and I think you'll see why. These runners know how to use the blocks to the best advantage. You can push them around. It's basically a lot of free attacks. And Haha gets a bomb drop right away, which is really nice.
Yeah, getting that early bomb drop, and it's 8 bomb drops, so won't even have to buy any bombs once you get to Kakariko Village. Just an absolutely nice thing to have. Hahasell is not going to have to sit around and farm up any bombs. Slim, if he doesn't get to killing some enemies, will have to farm up some bombs, but with that limited magic meter in the Cane of Samaria, it can be a little difficult and stressful.
That's true, but there are also pots and things that you can throw, and you got a lot of options, so you can't, there's still quite a bit of time left.
Oh, absolutely. The two effectively holding hands with one another as they're going through here, and good quick kills.
We got the key, so that's out of the way.
Now, going through this escape sequence, the general rule of thumb you want to go for is around 6 minutes to get through the entire escape sequence. That's from jumping out of bed to bringing Zelda through the doors to the sanctuary. Depending on your weapon setup, it can be a little bit plus or minus. Cane of Samaria is one of those that can be a little bit slower just because the block doesn't do a ton of damage. And there's Slim with his bomb drop. He's happy to see that.
Yep, and I'm sure these runners are also hoping, the flippers, that we'll see. I have to see how that plays out. But I'm sure these runners are hoping that they'll get the mirror just in time, because they can mirror right out if they happen to have that, and basically save maybe like a minute or so.
Minute and a half, yeah. I'll be honest, the only time I tend to get that sub 6 time is when I have the mirror, but it's nice. It's absolutely nice to have.
Right, and Ha is opting for the pot strats. It's pretty much you have to do that if you have any sort of weapon that uses magic. Well, with the fire rod, you can probably make it happen, but it's the safest way to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, they're both doing fine on their magic. They have their bombs, so they're going to at least be able to get the one bombable wall on their way through the escape process.
Right, so now's about the time where we start to think, how is the seed going to play out? We have the flippers early. That can mean a lot of things, or it could actually mean nothing. Could it be possible that maybe we'll see like an early Dark World where you have to swim to get to the west side or something like that?
That would be absolutely horrifying, but it's in the realm of possibility. Oh, and we see something we don't see every day. Slim is actually taking right side, doing it for the fans.
Yeah, the right side, it doesn't have any pots to throw at enemies. It's, I don't know if there's any other things. It's basically just ugly and bad, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same routing. It is just a mirrored area for those guys, but for some odd reason, everyone always ends up choosing left for whatever reason. Mostly, I think, because of those pots that have hearts under them. Mm-hmm. But if you're not using them, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's interesting. This mode, you know, these pots are pretty important in this mode, especially if you have a magic-using item like the Cane of Samaria here. There's actually 5 different small potions that you can pick up in the sewers and the preceding area.
And we pick up our blue mail in the sewers, so we have ourselves a blueberry, and, well, Squirtle is still blue.
Well, that blue mail is nice early on because if we need to make an early Dark World dip or something like that, it gives a little bit of extra protection.
A little bit. I mean, you absolutely want whatever it is that you can possibly get to help you out. The blue mail will absolutely help out, especially since, you know, we don't know where we're going quite yet. We don't have many indications as to what we may or may not have access to. The Cane of Samaria, while a great weapon to start off with, doesn't necessarily point us towards any progressions, like, for example, the mirror, which we just picked up.
Right, now we have the flippers and the mirror. Do I need to say what might be on my mind?
No, you don't. That's Swamp Palace required items. Of course, we still need normal Dark World access, but that usually comes pretty early in a race.
Now, this could also mean, you know, that we are going to make a visit to Death Mountain, and then maybe there's something, you know, in the Waterfall Cave or on Zora. So, you know, we can't jump to conclusions yet, but we'll have to see, you know, what kind of items we're going to get in Kakariko.
Oh, and both Slim and Hahasell opened the chest of shame. They did not count their items, knowing that a map was going to be at the end. Oh, my goodness. So they are off.
Well, in the heat of the moment, it can be difficult to count your items, but that's really important in this mode.
Absolutely. So Slim looks like he's routing over to check what's going to be on the Lumberjack Ledge. Meanwhile, Hahasell's taking a bit of a shortcut, hoping that that knowledge won't necessarily matter. And simultaneous bomb pulls.
Well, that's a nice little thing to know. We're not going to be hurting for bombs, I don't think.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it'll be nice, especially that they won't have to spend money doing it. And we already have red mail.
Ooh. We got a sword in Lumberjack Cave.
Oh, that's interesting.
Probably means nothing, but I know what chat's thinking, right?
Yeah, chat's open for that horrible troll with, you know, 2 swords locked behind horribleness, and you can only get one other sword, and you guys are horrible, horrible human beings for thinking such things.
Oh, red mail. That's well, that's one thing out of the way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we have red mail sub 10 minutes means we might be, well, it really means nothing, but
That's a, you know, it's a comfort thing. You know, red is in. You know, it's a very summer color. Summer is supposedly coming in.
I don't know. Summer doesn't seem to want to come me where I'm at.
Well, you know, I live in Texas, so what do I know?
Oh, cool. I'm in Kansas, sir.
Hmm.
All right. Anyway, we're going through. Lion's Hut didn't really have anything. Hahasell's going to the well over here.
So we
Uh-oh.
have lamp. That's a good sign.
Oh, I know. Our first actual sword. Okay.
Well, I don't know if they want to have that sword now that they have the lamp, though.
The absolute last thing these guys are going to want to find right now is the mirror. And, oh, that was a quick map check by Hahasell. It looked like 2 pendants on Tower of Hera and Desert, and then a crystal in Eastern.
I believe you are correct. So yeah, right now these runners are gonna really hope that they don't find the cape.
Cape would absolutely point both of them towards that horrible Aghanim required seed, which is absolutely in the realm of possibility, but we have some other options for us right at the moment. For example, those flippers do unlock the Zora area, and while we don't necessarily have enough rupees, the game logic doesn't care how many rupees you can get because you can farm them up. Zora is absolutely a possibility for progression.
Right, and we have the flippers, and we don't have any lift upgrades. So the Houlihan room, as far as I'm concerned, is out of the question right now. Oh, but they got 300 in the race game. It looks like Ha's going back for it. Pretty reasonably, I might add. That'll assuage some concerns about the Zora situation.
Absolutely. I mean, that'll put them over the 500 necessary to do that. And that's really the tricky part at this point in time. Normally, you wouldn't necessarily see these runners go off and get 300 rupees, but because the only progression they have are flippers, they know Zora is in progression, and it's absolutely a possibility. Might as well get it.
Yeah, and technically the lamp is progression for one area in Eastern Palace, but these runners, they're not going to need that lamp for that at all.
Absolutely not. Both of these runners are completely confident with their dark rooms. I don't know about some of the later dark rooms, for example, in things that we don't normally check. For example, Misery Mire dark rooms or Turtle Rock dark rooms. But for the early part of the game, I'm fully confident in both of these guys.
Absolutely.
Hahasell showing off of that wonderful mirror block glitch. When you're moving a block inside, not a dungeon, but in a cave, for example, the dam, or in other parts on Death Mountain, the block effectively doesn't exist while you're moving it. So if you use the mirror and kind of spam it as you're moving it, it makes the entire block disappear. Now you can do it inside a dungeon, but the problem is it'll warp you to the beginning of the dungeon and reset it.
Yeah, this game has some quirks, let's say, with regards to its programming.
Well, those quirks are half the fun of the game, DVO, don't you know?
Well, yeah, but, I'm a software engineer. I'd like to think about these things. Well, let's see what we get in Moldorm, the mini Moldorm cave. It looks like a lot of pieces of heart.
The Cave of Love and the Cape! Cape!
I'm sorry. Runners, if you're watching this VOD, I'm very sorry. And this seed is, well, you already know.
The seed is a thing. This is a thing that is happening to you. You can either go with it or you can resist, and resisting is not an option. So,
go ahead.
The question becomes, I mean, you pull that cape. Everything that you need to do Aghanim seems to be pointing towards you right now. You still, however, have the entire eastern area. You have all of Zora. There's the hook shot, which
this is perfect.
Help us.
Yeah, it kind of does, though. If we go and fight Aga, it'll help us get to the west side of the Dark World if we can get the Moon Pearl somewhere.
And I did actually misspeak when we did the map check. Kirby's map check was, 3 frames longer, so I could actually see. Desert Palace was one of the 5-6 crystals, not.
Oh, okay.
So Haha going ahead and checking these other Zora locked areas, then she's going to make her purchase from the big fish. Always worried about engaging in capitalism with strangers outside of waterfalls.
Oh, hey, the silver arrows in the ice cave. Very nice. it seems we're getting quite a few items of convenience, which is, very nice to have early on. You don't need to worry about them so much.
Yeah, they're nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
No. Well, at least we know we have to deal with Vitreous or something. We'll have silver arrows, provided we can get the bow, things like that. It's one less, thing to worry about.
Yeah, Hahasell finding that the Zora area had nothing for us, so she is going to head on over to the eastern area, looks like, make a last-ditch effort. If no progression is here, then we are on our way up to Ganon.
Yep. Did we check Agana at all? I don't think I saw that.
No, we haven't done that check. That is a one-off location that sometimes runners dismiss, and that, if something is there, that would be trolly as ever, and I would love it.
Yeah, I've seen that happen to myself once
Oh,
or twice.
Sorry.
Oh, we got a glove. That's that's a pretty good starter pack for Dark World.
Glove and Moon Pearl. Okay. Still, nothing. I mean, at this point, we can actually get up to Death Mountain, so we're following the seed right now.
Yeah, there's actually quite a lot you can do in Death Mountain, so I imagine Haha's headed there right away.
Slim looks like he's going to go over and find his treasure trove on Death Mountain. Now, this is interesting because Hahasell did go to the hobo to get Hookshot. SlimKirby did not. Slim will not have access to East Death Mountain without that Hookshot, and that's 8 item locations by itself.
And you never know, that there might be the hammer in there. In fact, it's almost something I would bet on, the hammer being there.
Well, we're 1 item away from Dark World access, either the hammer or the Titansmiths at this point in time. One of those two hopefully is up here on Death Mountain. If it's not, then Ag is still definitely a possibility.
Absolutely.
So the question will be, does Haha start on the east side? And looks like she will. She's going to wait and forego Tower of Hera, at least for the time being. Meanwhile, Slim is actually diving into Eastern, hoping that the progression that he's looking for is in here.
Now, I imagine Haha might be hoping, indeed, that the hammer is over here, and that'll make for a quick jaunt over to Hera.
Both are very logical plays. I don't want to put down either of these runners' decisions at this point in time. It's real easy to second guess, but Slim is routing this all together. If something is here, Slim's already in the lead.
Absolutely. I mean, Eastern Palace is something that you kind of just do in most seeds, and version 29 tends to cluster some items in the early areas, so you can never quite be sure until you clear the dungeon out for sure. Just a red boomerang to start. That's probably not what SlimKirby wanted to see.
Absolutely not. Meanwhile, Hahasell did end up picking up a fairy in a bottle. That's going to unlock Sick Kid back in Kakariko Village, so another item location that Hahasell was able to pick up.
So, question, are you a fan of the fairy in the bottle? I know I tend to dislike it because whenever I try and Death Warp, I tend to conveniently forget that I happen to have a fairy in a bottle.
Here's my working theory on fairy in a bottle. If I get to the point where I am dying and need resurrection from a fairy, I've already done something wrong. So I tend to let them go and try to fill up on potions when I can.
That seems very reasonable to me.
That being said, I'm not opposed to seeing fairies in a bottle because then I'll do a Christina Aguilera impression.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, so Hahasell coming up on the Walk of Shame through Spiral Cave slowly, and another fairy in a bottle. So progression was not on the east side of Death Mountain.
That's very interesting. That's something I mentioned before that I imagined we would probably find something there, but here I am with red on my face.
Well, and it's possible that Slim hasn't found anything either. It could be up on the Tower of Hera side as well. Haha is looking like going to turn in those bottles to see if Sick Kid does indeed give us anything.
Right. Yeah, but for now it's looking pretty much like we have Aga. We got the limited number of places we can check now.
Oh my god!
There you go. Never mind. Everything's fine.
Sick Kid got sick because he broke his hand with the hammer.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be teaching your kids carpentry so early.
Nonsense. It builds character.
You got a point.
So this seed's logic did, in fact, start with the flippers, which was our first progression item, really. Unlocks, you go up to Hobo to get the flippers. From there, you have to go over to Eastern to get your other Dark World items, but then you have to use the hook shot from the Hobo to get to the other part of Death Mountain to get the bottles and then come back. And here's our other map check. Oh, Turtle Rock and Misery Mire are our other pendants.
Well, let's just hope we don't see any of those medallions.
Yeah, this is a seed where medallions could not be required at all, which means inevitably our last go mode item is going to be on Laser Bridge and Turtle Rock.
I mean, it always is, basically.
And as if, okay, here's the interesting thing. Hookshot not required, because at the top up here where SlimKirby is checking, who does not have it, he can mirror over and get the third bottle.
Oh, wow. I guess the seed is really wanting you to check Sick Kid, and rightfully so.
I mean, that's a lot of direction to go exactly there. All right, so Slim's going to go here. I have a feeling that Slim's going to go ahead and do Tower of Hera because he's looking for that progression still.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll get to see what's in here. This is just a pendant, so it's not required necessarily. And now that we have one of the two items in this dungeon, I don't know, the chances are pretty low that we'll actually get something here.
I mean, you never know. So Slim gets the big key, is climbing up. Meanwhile, Hahasell is in Skullwoods. Makes this particular room really easy with the Cane of Samaria, so that early cane actually helping us.
Yeah, that room is a lot easier when you can just bypass everything, basically.
And Haha looks like backing out. Didn't really find anything. Oh
no.
That's not what you want to find, Kirby.
You definitely don't want to find that. Not only do we have both our items in this dungeon, one of them was the Ice Rod, which is only required for Trinex.
Of course, Trinex on Turtle Rock, which we don't want to step foot in at all. So getting that in logic, however slightly, increases the odds that we'll have to do Trinex.
The Ice Rod's pretty interesting. You always want to see it early when Turtle Rock is required, and you never want to see it ever if it's a pendant.
So Slim having to do vanilla Moldorm right now. He doesn't necessarily have to, which is the interesting thing. He's gotten both items if he's counting.
Well, at this point, you kind of consider yourself like pot committed to the Tower of Hera play. Oh no, taking a fall, unfortunately.
Interesting check. Hahasell is already doing the graveyard ledge just to check Big 20. That's one of those locations that some runners just seem to not be able to route into their routing choice, and it can really mess with them if something important is there.
I've seen a lot of required items in that particular check, but it is really nice if you can manage to get the check the Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb along with it, or Catfish, something, anything, really.
Yeah, I try to get Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb and just kind of do that whole pass together. Meanwhile, Slim with the small key, he's just going for the pendant and committing to it right now.
Well, if you're, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Tower of Hera, might as well fight Moldorm. Moldorm's not that hard.
All right, and the save and quit from Slim, so let's see if he makes his way over to Kakariko Village, turns in that bottle. I think Slim is doing one of the worst things he could possibly... Well, okay, not the worst thing he could possibly do.
Okay.
One of the worst things he can do.
I think checking Hobo, which will be the right call, because that'll give him the hook shot.
Well, here's the problem that's going to happen here. Slim is going to check Hobo, get the hook shot, realize he messed up, go back up Death Mountain to go over to the east side of Death Mountain, where all he's going to find is more bottles.
Yeah, you're probably right, but we'll have to see exactly what happens, I suppose.
And an anger slash there from Slim. Yup. Meanwhile, Hahasell is in Thieves Town. Thieves Town is a crystal this time around, so she'll be able to go ahead and clear this. 7 hearts, red mail, and at least a weapon of some sort. A sword is fine at this point in time. Remember, blind at the end of this fight actually just takes the same amount of damage no matter what.
Yep, and they also have the Cane of Samaria in case they want to have a little bit of fun with the fight.
If it was Slim, I'd say he might have a little bit of fun, but I want to say that Hahasell will treat it as a tournament race and will just use the NMG strats to get it down quick.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, the Cane of Samaria blind fight is one of my personal favorites, but yet I never do it unless I have to, which kind of makes me sad.
I think there's a whole lot of fights that are a lot of fun that aren't necessarily considered optimal. I learned about a new one this week, in fact.
Oh, what, may I ask, is that?
Keen of Burno Land Molus.
Oh, that, okay, yeah, no, I've seen that one.
Yeah. I'll say, you know what, I'm going to do it again at some point, but not for a week.
I personally am a fan of Hammer Mothula because I'm crazy, I think.
All right, so Slim is up here, and it looks like he's going to do his last cave check in the spiral cave. Meanwhile, Hahasell not finding a ton at this point in time.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing, but Thieves Town, it's still relatively early in the Dark World. There's plenty of other checks to make. You win some, you hand some.
I had to stop and think for like half a second when you said that.
Sorry, I would love that one.
Well, Slim, you've got 3 bottles now. Is that a giant enough like guiding light to tell you where you have to go, sir?
I'm guessing since he started at Sanctuary that is a likely choice.
Feels like it. Did not see what was in the big treasure chest for Hahasell.
It's just a big heart. So we're going into the blind fight on Haha's side.
Pulling the sword out. When you're a baker, you don't what?
You don't loaf around.
Boom.
That was literally true. I mean, a lot of bakers need to get up very early in the morning to, bake bread.
Got to bring in that dough.
I'm not going to continue that.
I was going to say, do you get that? That's a baker joke there.
Yeah, I decided not to keep it going.
Slim, abusing a sick kid. Slim, what kind of person are you?
Well, one that needed the hammer, honestly, so... So now I'm starting to think, what's the next item that we get that gives us some sort of progression?
I mean, a sword's nice. Again, not thrilling, but nice.
Yeah. Well, it's not really progression unless we have a book or something, so...
Yeah, let's see. We still have the terrible, the infamous, the not quite aptly named Hype Cave.
That's true. And anything could be in there. So let's see. We could get a bow that would let us do Eastern and Dark Palace. We could get Fire Rod that would let us clear out Skull Woods.
At this point, let's see. Other things that we can be looking for as well. Now, this is a long digging game that Hahasell's going through, and it's just a single rupee.
Well, again, you can't win them all.
Let's see. Also, Titan's Mitts would be nice.
Right.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily. It would open up Dark Death Mountain. That's it.
Yeah, until we get the Fire Rod, we're not, or Bombos, we're not gonna be able to do anything in Ice Palace with the Titan's Mitts. We'll just have to see, I think.
Yep. So Hahasell continuing the south route. Slim a little bit behind. Still hasn't done Thieves. We have the Magic Powder.
Well, that's a kind of an inconvenient place for that. It looks like Haha might be heading right on back. Oh, and on Bumper Cave, it looks like it was just bombs.
Slim now kind of routing over to do the exact same thing that Hahasell did, that early graveyard ledge check.
Yeah, unfortunately, it won't pay off with anything, but it's one item location off the chart.
Haha is routing in, getting that powder and thinking this might be a breadcrumb that I'm looking for. Let's see. Magic Bat is using electricity on Squirtle. It's super effective, but he gets some love.
It's pretty unusual for an electric attack on a water type, but yeah, to each their own.
I mean, I don't know Pokemon well enough to come up with a counter to that. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, you gotta take pride in some ignorance sometimes.
Oh, meanwhile, Hahasell is...
Oh, go ahead. I'm just saying I'm a big nerd is what... Okay.
I'm pretty sure we're all big nerds. I'm just gonna say...
I have no idea what you're talking about. We're watching the most popular video game on Twitch right now. This is blasphemy.
Meanwhile, Hahasell's going to Hype Cave.
Will it be hype?
I predict hype.
Well, it's got bombs to start. Kana Burna. And a whole lot of nothing else. That's a little disappointing if I'm going to be honest.
Hey, Burna, 10 of 10, would hype again. What are you talking about? No, I mean, no, not at all.
We already had the cape. Sometimes nice to have, you know, a little invincibility, but really we didn't need that right now.
Oh, and Hahasell's making the play onto the wonderful, the lovely Swamp Palace.
Well, you know, it's a crystal. We got all the items for it. I think maybe the seed is kind of hinting that we should go there. So, you know, I'm totally all right with this play.
That does make the Master Sword just a little bit more valuable, because going into having to do the Argus fight with just a fighter sword is, yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully something in Swamp will help things along. I've seen a lot of swords pop up in Swamp. That would be really nice. So let's see what will be in this first chest here. Just some money.
Yeah, meanwhile, going through here, Slim is working his way through Thieves Town.
Now we'll have to see if Haha opts to do the left side of Swamp first.
You know, the general rule that I follow, and I don't know if a lot of runners follow this, but it feels like kind of the pattern. When you're just looking for one item for go mode, you bypass left side hoping you find it in the back and you can just skip it. But when you have as much stuff as you need to collect, and as Hahasell does, go ahead and full clear it right now. It'll save you time in the long run.
Yeah, I generally tend to go by that logic too. But then, annoyingly enough, we also have a big key situation we need to, you know, watch out for, which can also, you know, throw a wrench into the mix. Oh, well, never mind. We can take a look at that big chest right now.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, it could be something, and it's Garbo.
Well, you know. Has to be somewhere in the dungeon. So yeah, Haha is opting to do a left side. Making sure to pick up that key to prevent any shenanigans.
Oh man, this horrible red dude is just trolling Kirby, just on his tail.
Those red Zazuks are the worst, especially in this area. Like, they can just like shoot fire at you constantly. It's pretty great.
The question is, we still haven't found any progression. The only difference between these guys, I mean, even the Hype Cave check is the Cane of Burna and then the Master Sword, which Slim is going to find pretty directly.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of, who goes what direction and what pays off. Which honestly doesn't really say a lot because that's rando, and that's basically the motto of Link to the Past Randomizer, so.
When in doubt, get trolled.
Now those are words that we can all live by. Oh, we have Bombos on the left side of Swamp. That is entry to Ice Palace.
Well, we're still mitts away.
And a single arrow, which, very handy. Don't want to leave home without it.
Slim with the wonderful Samaria strats. That's really a nice, clean Samaria strat fight by Slim.
Yeah, I really love these kinds of fights with just a lot of fun. It's a great item in general. A lot of things you can do with that Cane of Samaria.
The interesting thing about the cane is that, when, at least for you guys, I don't know how it was for anyone else, but for me, when I played it as a kid, you get the cane so late, and it had kind of limited uses other than put a block on it or like hold down a switch. Like I didn't realize it was a weapon. And
yeah.
it is so useful.
Yeah, casually, I play, 100% agree. Basically, it was like, what's this garbage that you give me? And, like now, it's like millions of things. Quite dozens of things that you can do with it. SlimKirby picking up the Master Sword. Nice pickup.
All right, nothing so far for Hahasell going through this. I mean, this has been kind of a bust. It's going to be a crystal, so it's absolutely something worth doing. And I can't fault her logic for wanting to go in here, considering we've had everything for so long. But well, never mind.
Yep. Yeah.
Commentator's reverse curse.
So now I'm thinking that Ice Palace is the play, because we got the Titan's Myths that'll let us get in the Ice Palace, and we got Bombos that'll let us defeat Freezors, blocking the entrance to Ice Palace.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot of plays to make. There is the Ice Palace, which would absolutely be a solid play. Let's see. I mean, they could go back up to Dark Death Mountain. That's also a possibility.
That's true. And then, we can see what Turtle Rock might have in store. Like, if it's Bombos or something, that could be very important information. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we also have kind of some of the other overworld locations. We have Jeremiah that we can check, along with the Hammer Pegs and the Purple Chest. Kind of that routing together at this point.
For sure. And Haha's finishing off Argus with the Master Sword. Not really any other options that I could see. So, very clean fight, though. I personally am a big fan of trying to go for the quad Ice Rod hits on Argus.
All right, so Hahasell looks like is opting to go ahead and do the Dark Death Mountain routing. There's going to be 6 treasure chests at this point. 4 in Hookshot Cave and 2 in Super Bunny Cave. However, going up this direction just to check to see what's on Spectacle Rock, doesn't know yet.
Right, and SlimKirby checking out Hype Cave. Was not really hype. And showing his frustration on the poor former thief that lived there.
Oh, Slim's just full of anger management issues. Like, I need to get him a number for a therapist, I think.
Well, if you play a rando, basically, you should have one on speed dial.
Are you saying that we all need therapy because of the game or because we're already crazy and this is just a form of therapy? Like, what's the cause and effect relationship here?
Little column A, little column B. All right, so it looks like we're going to see what Medallion Turtle Rock is in just a moment. And SlimKirby heading into Swamp Palace to claim that Bombos, hopefully. As well as the Titansmiths that are later in the dungeon. Okay, Quake on Turtle Rock. That's, I'm sure, very satisfying to see for Haha.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to see. Is if that was Bombos, you kind of like, okay, do I dip my toe in the water here and check to see what's in this first chest? I mean, you could get trolled real hard on that one. Haha,
Yeah.
checking the colloquial Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, that one first chest in Turtle Rock can, have... I've seen it have stuff before, and you never know. It'll just eat at you in the back of your brain, calling out like some siren song.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're getting a little too poetic for me here.
Okay, I'll tone it down a little.
Less Odyssey, more memes, I say. No, less. I'm sorry, no memes.
This is a meme-free zone. This is not allowed. No fun allowed.
We have a joke where I work that fun is actually against the security policy.
Well, having fun just shows that you're not following proper protocol. So I totally agree.
All right, so Hahasell's on the way. Oh, gonna do Tower of Hera. Now, Slim did Tower of Hera, didn't find anything of value here. It's kind of the thing that's given Hahasell a bit of an advantage up to this point in the game. If Hahasell goes ahead and completes Tower of Hera like Slim did, it would negate a lot of the advantage that Ha already has.
That's true. But, I'm looking, and, Bo could be on the pedestal or something silly like that.
I mean, it could be. Realistically, I'd take that gamble every day of the week and twice on Sunday. The pedestal
sure.
is only something like a 4.5% at the most. So it's a gamble I think I'd be willing to take. And if you lose a match because of a ped gamble, so be it.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
That being said, it is possible right now.
I mean, there was that Landmo with the Burna and bombs.
Yeah,
earlier.
That was a thing. Yeah.
So,
let's change the subject.
Version 9, I was just going to say, has some surprises for us still, perhaps, so.
And Haha is checking Spike Cave.
Well, might as well get it out of the way, because it's right there. It's kind of hard to route in otherwise. Unfortunately.
Yeah, just a little love.
Yep.
So someone pointed out in chat, and I think it's we need to address it. Someone talked about the bush cutting that Haha was doing up there at the top, only cutting the 4 cardinal directions. Those actually have an increased drop chance for a fairy to increase your health. So the reason why you'll see a lot of runners do just those 4 bushes is because you want to replenish your health and there's an increased likelihood of getting a fairy from those particular bushes.
Yeah, it's very handy to keep that in mind. They also tend to drop hearts pretty frequently, I've found. I don't know if that's a bonus or they just do that occasionally, but very nice way of restoring your health before you take the plunge.
Yeah, so it may look weird for if people don't necessarily know that particular trick, but if you're about to go to Spike Cave and you know you're going to be draining all of your health, checking those 4 particular bushes is actually a little bit handy.
Absolutely. So let's see. It looks like Hahasell is. What are we gonna see? Yeah, we're gonna get the. I imagine we'll get the dwarf and the related items along the way.
Now, we're going to use his proper name. His name is Jeremiah.
Oh, okay, Jeremiah, the frog.
Yeah, because Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and he was a good friend of mine. Do you get the song? Or am I that old?
Did he help you drink his wine? Or
Absolutely. I helped him drink his wine.
I was gonna say I messed it up, but yeah, you got it anyway. It's a 3-dog night, ladies and gentlemen. Know your history.
All right, so we're going to see what Jeremiah has for us here.
Oh
no.
That's the last thing you want to see.
Well, and Haha did check it, so yeah. So we just got the unlock key for Pendant Turtle Rock, where we don't have Fire Rod, so it could very well be just that one treasure chest location that has whatever progression we're looking for. We're not there yet. We still have all of Ice Palace that we can do at this point in time. He's turning in the purple chest at this point as well.
And a nice clean Argus fight again from SlimKirby. Oh, we have Fire Rod from the purple chest.
Oh no!
Everything.
Well, I mean, that makes Ice Palace easier, and that makes going into Skull Woods completable. I don't know if it changes that much, though.
Do you remember how many items were picked up in Swamp or Skull Woods?
I thought it was just one.
Okay. Well, there's hope yet. But I imagine Ice Palace will probably be a thing before any sort of pendant nonsense.
Yeah, and Kirby's actually making the play on Ice Palace. He's not messing around with anything else. He's going right for it.
I can't blame him. The seed is kind of hinting that this might be something of worth to do, so...
It is. I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't check some of those overworld spots that Hahasell did, but I get the feeling that this is the play. Meanwhile, Hahasell is going over here and looks like going to clear out Skull Woods in the meantime.
Yeah, Skull Woods, when you have an item left or two, you kind of like to get that out of the way. If you already have both items in it, you can pretty much leave it until forever, basically, but... when there's items on the line, it pays to be thorough.
I don't disagree at all. More than that, I think I would be hoping to find another sword. Simply because Master Sword in Ice Palace isn't the most fun thing. It's better than Fighter Sword, which the game can absolutely require you to do, but I'd like a little bit more oomph myself.
For sure. With the Master Sword, you can at least have relatively comfortable cold stare fight if you play defensively, but it's it's no fun. No one wants to do that.
Yeah, I mean the difference that Hahasell is going to have with Fire Rod and Bombos will be significant. At least a few extra shots on Cold Stare. Just regular Master Sword Cold Stare isn't that fun.
Yeah, it's a bit time consuming for sure.
Kirby is going to go ahead and skip doing the bomb jump, knowing that he's going to have to full clear anyway, and he already has the Cane of Samaria, so really just saving time.
Yeah, Cane of Samaria and the hookshot really helps to make Ice Palace a lot easier.
Haha, meanwhile, using the lamp to try to save as much magic as possible in order to save those Fire Rod shots for who really deserves it, Mothula.
Yep, the Fire Rod is really nice for Mothula, if only that it'll knock Mothula around the room a bit and maybe get that boss into a better position. At least that's how I use it.
I go with the whatever works strategy myself.
Well, with Mothula, it often goes to that regardless, so... And a nice clean fight there from Haha.
Oh, absolutely. Mothula was actually very, very forgiving and cooperative there.
Yeah, Mothula actually took damage, which, is nice. Yeah, in case you're wondering, those spikes, if Mothula is knocked onto those spikes or is over those spikes, some combination of that, Mothula just doesn't take damage.
Like it all.
Yeah, it's,
The other thing worth noting, I think, when going through that is, we had the red male going into that fight. Now, Mothula herself, I'm going to presume it's a girl, Mothula, okay? Anyway.
Arthropods tend to go that way,
I'm not Ganon, the bug expert. Anyway, so Mothula, if you have red mail, will only do half a heart damage when you body up to her. The spikes, though, will do a full heart of health no matter what armor you have. So Mothula will do increasing damage the lower your armor is. So depending on what armor you have, kind of changes your strategy. If you have red mail, you're kind of right up in her grill, so to speak. If you have blue or, heaven forbid, green mail fighting Mothula, you tend to want to back off.
Absolutely. But, having 12 hearts, it kind of mitigates both situations, really, so... There's a save and quit by Haha. I'm wondering what is going through their head right now. Probably deciding to do something else, it looks like.
Yeah, started heading that direction, but decided against it for some reason. Slim not really finding a whole lot going through here, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's really too bad. The seed certainly was serving everything up for Ice Palace.
Oh, wait. Slim got the boots. I'm blind.
Oh.
Yeah, I apologize, guys. I was like, did we really find nothing? Oh wait, the boots.
I'm just gonna say that, it is difficult to pay attention to two things happening at once, but yeah, boots are a great find. It's not really progression unless, one of two things happens, but it also lets us check two more places. So that's good.
Absolutely. So, I mean, at this point, we have so little progression at this point in time. That very well could be what we're looking for here.
Right. Yeah. You never know.
Nice
Bo. Nope. I was gonna say, Bo might be in King's Tomb or something like that. So we'll see.
And Slim with the nice kill. I mean, that wasn't necessarily an easy fight. It was a little bit daunting, but he got through it with the next crystal.
Yeah, Master Sword, Cold Stare. You don't like to do it, but sometimes you just gotta. Although I guess in this case, maybe it wasn't necessary. We'll have to see what those boots get us. Though, we can also move fast, which, honestly, that's a little bit more important.
All right, so right about 1 hour in our match at this point in time. Just a matter of what's happening now. And Slim looks like he's going to be checking King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, I would not leave those untouched, at all. Because that could, be something. Well...
Fetch quests are us.
Yeah. So we don't have the flute, so that's particularly annoying.
I think it makes Slim wish he would have done Bonk Rocks first and then routed over the other direction. That way he could just kind of continue on over to the witch to turn that mushroom in.
That's a good point. But hindsight's 20/20. I don't know what that means.
You don't know what hindsight is 20/20 means?
No, I'm just joking, man. I'm having fun.
Okay. I was like, I will be happy to explain to you the colloquial uses of hindsight is 20/20 if you'd so desire.
I got glasses, so I know the deal.
All right, so Slim is heading over to the Dark World. Let's see what he decides to do. Oh, he might be doing the Jeremiah check as well, which will net him the Fire Rod. Well, I mean, the Jeremiah purple chest do all of that routing.
Yeah, you have to return Jeremiah in order to get the purple chest, which in turn leads to the Fire Rod. But yes. Why does this game have to be so complicated?
Because we like it that way. We're a little bit sadist like that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Now, the nice thing is Slim is going to have a much easier time getting through these hammer pegs using the wonderful Japanese 1.0 version of the Hammer Dash. Not available in the American version, but little tricks like that are why we use the Japanese version.
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting bugs and exploits that you can make use of in the original 1.0.
Right, Slim picking up his Quake Medallion. I don't think Slim's actually been up to Dark Death Mountain, so he does not know the direness of that Quake Medallion being the key to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we'll have to see where he heads ultimately. So we're kind of running out of places to go. We might
Nonsense. We have Turtle Rock.
Well, I was also going to say, we can do maybe some stuff in Pod. We got did we get a pyramid check yet? We got catfish. That might be a thing.
Yeah, if I were Slim, I think at this point in time, what I would do is route down, do this purple chest. I mean, looks like he's going to do that. We happen to know why it's valuable, but go ahead and do the purple chest, route up, do pyramid, catfish, and in the process, turn in your mushroom. That's kind of a across the world check, but it's getting a lot of those out of the way locations in one fell swoop.
Absolutely. And you know what I would add on to that? while you're at the witch, turning in the mushroom, pick up a potion.
That would be nice. And
Well,
Slim, taking a bit of a detour here. He's actually going to turn in the mushroom right now.
oh, interesting. But see, I would mention, buy a potion, because that way you could get 2 more chests in pod if you need to, with a nice little glitch that was fairly recently found.
Right, you can go ahead and do the bottle glitch in Palace of Darkness. Meanwhile, Hahasell, finally picking up those silvers, probably a little bit happy that they went over and checked there. Doesn't pick up a bottle though.
Yeah, okay. I was worried that SlimKirby was going to, do something with his anger issues, take it out on the witch or something. Turns out not to be the case.
Every fairy tale I've ever read just warned you about doing anything to witches. You should probably not do that, Slim.
Alright, well, Slim will be very happy with what he finds out of this purple chest. Haha's checking out the boots locked items.
Very, very tight race between these two. Remember, Hahasell has completed Skull Wood, which SlimKirby has not yet done. So a little bit of an advantage still on Hahasell's side. And Slim's going up here to Dark Death Mountain. I wonder if he's going to route in Turtle Rock after this check.
Well, that's kind of the big question, huh? At this point, there's not that much left to do. Like I mentioned, there's pod, but that's no guarantee. Turtle Rock has more items available to us for sure right now. Actually, I think if you use the glitch, they're basically about the same, but the logic wouldn't necessarily allow for it, so.
And it looks like Hahasell's actually making the trip up to Turtle Rock as well. That's interesting, because Hahasell has already been up here and knows what Turtle Rock is to unlock, so making the play on Pendant Turtle Rock. And Kirby's opening it up too.
I mean, Pendant Turtle Rock might as well, in many cases, be required. It's so very rarely... It's so very rare, it seems, that you can just ignore it altogether.
Yes. Yes, it's so rare that you can ignore Turtle Rock entirely. Except for if you have a Landmolus burn a Bombos required seed, in which case totally ignore Turtle Rock. Never mind, I'm still salty. Moving on!
Well, everyone's got one of those seeds for the ages.
Yeah, that's going to be one to remember. So Slim is actually going through. He's got Super Bunny Cave. He's going to be doing Hookshot Cave. Hahasell is absolutely opening Turtle Rock and is making the dive.
Yep, there are 5 items plus the Mimic Cave that can be found in this dungeon. Now the question is, are we going to find anything? Are we going to find more than just one item, and is someone just going to peace out after finding the first one? There's a lot of things that can happen here. Oh, haha, getting knocked off by the Bari there. Those jellyfish enemies are, especially in this room, just a pain in the butt.
So these two are just neck and neck right now, just one room away from one another. This is actually a little bit exciting to see all the route divergence they've had up to this point in time. Again, Hahasell still with a bit of a lead, particularly with that Skull Woods win.
Yep, as you know, as they say, all roads lead to Rome. And Turtle Rock, well, basically Rome.
I mean, this is really interesting because it feels like something has to be here at this point in time. We don't have a whole lot of other options. I mean, Palace of Darkness could absolutely be it. That one treasure chest could be just laughing at us right now.
Oh, if that chest is the bow, wouldn't that be something?
I think at that point, everyone feels behind always.
Actually, you know, that could be the book. Let me take that back and make it the book, because that would add a little back and forth to this run.
See, now you and Chad are conspiring for like what's the worst possible thing that could happen to these guys, and
you know,
yeah,
I'm not playing it, is the thing. Honestly, when I play these kinds of seeds, I just kind of have to laugh because you know, there's always something up its sleeve.
And I love the bunny form of Squirtle. It's got the Squirtle Squad glasses.
Oh, it's so good. I don't even know anything about the Pokemon anime, but that's just great.
Coolest sunglasses ever. And Meta Knight.
Yeah, Meta Knight's banned though.
Oh, is Meta Knight banned?
Well, yeah, that's why they had to nerf him. You can't do anything as Meta Knight in this game.
Makes sense.
So Haha is having a little bit of issues with that room, which, you know, I know the feeling. If you get a little bit out of sync, it just turns to ash in your mouth.
Haha, with the check into Mimic Cave here, we'll see what exactly we find.
We gotta find something.
Only Mimics in the Light World.
Yeah, hopefully we find something, because, you know, there's no worse feeling than going into Turtle Rock as a pendant and getting nothing.
You are absolutely right. There is no worse feeling than going into Pendant Turtle Rock and getting nothing.
Listen, I haven't played every seed out there, okay? it's an expression, okay? Oh!
Okay, so your dream is coming true. Devio's been working on his telepathy skills and knows exactly what's going to happen.
I spent, you know, while everyone was practicing this game, I spent years honing my mind so I could ruin other people's fun. So yeah, that book will let our runners get into Desert Palace in the least fun way possible.
I mean, it's worth a cutscene. You can kind of take your time, go refill your coffee, do whatever you need to have done.
Well, I mean, it's not that long a cutscene, but yeah. So Laser Bridge, let's see what Laser Bridge has. Bombs.
Laser Bridge, which is in logic because we have both Cape and Berna tempered swords. There's our last sword.
And has to be careful because, you know, these getting knocked off and getting hit by a eye laser, it's 2 hearts right there. and opting
Yeah.
for the safety, which I cannot blame him for.
Slim right on Haha's tail. Gonna do the safety door, just 2 chests behind now.
Oh no, Haha taking a death, but with the safety exit, that's not that big a problem. And we had a fairy anyway. Did you remember we had those? I didn't.
Yeah, I remember it. And Slim, that red chrome dome there, I don't exactly know what they're called. They're red annoyances, whatever they are.
I could look them up and find out what their name is, but that would give them power.
Is this one where we give them a name so that we have power over them?
They could call them just big old jerk dumb faces.
Big old jerk dumb faces. I'm game.
Listen, it's not eloquent, but it's very true. So yeah, Haha's heading up into Trinex here. And with the Tempered Sword, this should be simple stuff.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too terribly difficult.
Yeah, just don't miss too much with the Fire Rod, or else that could be a problem. But looking like this will be just fine here.
Absolutely. And here comes Slim, right on the same page. Hahasell defeats Trinex. Let's see what Trinex holds for us. I mean, we've got a Tempered Sword, so it's something. It's just a piece of heart in the book. Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, was this a bust?
You know, the book feels like the breadcrumb to follow. I mean, it's certainly bottlenecked here, so you've had to have come up here. Jet right on over. Go ahead and check the ether tablet while you're up here, and then make your way down. Check the Bombos tablet on your way to Desert Palace.
Right. Now, if a flute happens to be in Desert Palace or something, then absolutely this is the right play. If it happens to be in Palace of Darkness, well, you know, this might have been kind of, you know, for nothing. But we'll have to see. We're getting an ether tablet check by Haha. Just big 20. Nothing special.
We are technically, at this point in time, just a bow away from go mode, aren't we?
Yeah, looks like it. But that bow likes to hide in the worst places.
Slim going to come over. Has not yet checked Spike Cave, so we'll be doing that. Hahasell is doing exactly what I had pointed out, going down here and checking the Bombos tablet, and then routing over to Desert Palace.
Yep, might as well clean up those last little item locations while they're handy.
So if you're Hahasell and SlimKirby, the one thing you do not want to find before the bow is going to be the flute. The flute will unlock Misery Mire and put into logic possibly a pedestal seed.
Right, now that we have the book, we do not want to see that flute.
Looks like Slim is actually going to route over here and take care of Skull Woods. I'm presuming, at least, is where he's heading.
That seems very reasonable.
Yeah, it's another pendant dungeon, or crystal dungeon you can go ahead and clear.
Right, and there wasn't a piece of heart on Mothula, so that's, you know, one item that, you know, Kirby doesn't know what it is, but he certainly wants to clear that out before making any big decisions.
It's also worth noting, and chat pointing this out, thank you so much, with the mirror, Slim could do a pedestal check to see if he's looking at possibly heading that direction, which would be horrible, but at least Slim would have that intel over Hahasell.
You know, 100% I would make that check. 100%, because this, you know, these pendant dungeons, we have most of the stuff to clear all of them. We just need the flute to clear the misery mire. And, you know, if that bow or... well, I think it's just the bow, if that's on there.
Yeah, it's just the bow at this point in time. So
Yeah.
if you figure it out that it's there, better to know now, then you can effectively go mode all the other pendant dungeon that you have to do. And also, it's kind of an advantage to Slim because he's already had 2 of the pendant dungeons already done. So if I were in Slim shoes, I would actually be hoping for a pendant dungeon at this point in time, or a ped seed.
Yeah, that seems very reasonable. And we could also have the shovel on the pedestal as well, which, you know, but that's just mean.
You're mean, and you're bringing it into existence by even mentioning its name. Just don't say Beetlejuice 3 times.
Can I say Michael Keaton 3 times?
That is allowed.
Okay, I wasn't actually going to do it, I just wanted to know.
All right, so nothing going on here in Desert Palace so far. I believe he got bombs. I don't know if he got both items or if our last item is actually on Land Molus.
We'll probably be able to guess. It looks like Haha is going to take out Lammolas.
Meanwhile, Slim, man, this is a healthy seed. 15 hearts for Slim.
Yeah, 15 hearts you usually don't see.
And here comes the ped check.
Oh, here it comes. Are you ready? Okay, well, that was a little disappointing, but, you know, that's just statistics for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a worthwhile check, I think. And yeah, at this point in time, with what you have, you got to be a little bit worried about it.
And this way, at least, if you have to dive in the mire, then you know that if you get 2 items, you're done, like, right away.
Well, we can't dive into mire quite yet.
No. Well, where is this gold-earned bow?
At this point, I'm rooting for the first chest in pod.
You know, I'm starting to think that I may have put a curse upon our runners by saying that earlier.
Yes, not in desert.
Well, were there 2 items picked up in desert? Haha might have elected to fight the boss over finding the last item. Although
I believe Haha picked up everything, yeah.
Okay, because desert's pretty quick regardless, so it's, you know.
Oh, chat also pointing out we also have the Pyramid Fairy that would be a solid check right now.
Yeah, that's very true, you know. That book opened it up, basically, so logically, that seems like a really good place to check.
Again, if you're Hahasell, and Slim at this point, what you don't want to see is that flute. Flute would open up the entire mire area, just stretch out your search that much further.
Yeah, we want to see the bow, and the bow alone, really.
Oh my, this is interesting. We haven't checked Hahasell was on her way over to Pyramid, realized, oh yeah, I can buy the bomb. We haven't had a pyramid check, just a vanilla pyramid check.
Yeah, these runners have not wanted to go anywhere near Palace of Darkness. which I understand. Palace of Darkness is annoying, but you know it's a crystal, and you got to do it at some point, and you never know what might be in it.
This would be slightly hilarious, and by hilarious I mean for us, not for the runners, if Catfish or the Pyramid actually had our progression and they've been running around for nothing.
Yeah, I didn't mention it, but I was kind of hoping that Agana had the bow at some point. That just would have been that would have just been awful, though.
It would have been just awful. I appreciate you not bringing that into existence. It had nothing in Pyramid Fairy.
I can't help but think that Pod is the play.
Yeah, the rough thing right now is that without that flute, I mean, they do have to do a lot of saving and quitting. We're going to see a pretty high save quit number from these runners here. Haha now is taking the time to go up and check the Lumberjack ledge, realizing she had never checked it.
Yep, but it's just that sword that we saw earlier, and we got all the other three, so I really doubt anyone's going to fight Aga just for that butter.
Nah, Tempered's good enough. So Haha is routing in the Lumberjack check and the Pedestal check, looks like. This is where panic is, I think, setting in a little bit for Hahasell. It's like, what does this seed want me to do?
Yeah, it's kind of been dragging our runners around, just all over the place. We're running low on items to check.
I mean, it's Pod. At this point, it's got to be Pod.
Yeah. Well, there's also Catfish. No one went out of their way, reasonably so, to check Catfish. But every once in a while, Catfish does have something.
I feel like we need to verb that. It's like, we got catfished, although it already has kind of its own verb.
Yeah, maybe not that one.
Hahasell making the play on the catfish, though.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. You want to, at this point, you kind of want to cover all your bases. Make sure that you have no left, no remaining places to check to give you conniptions later.
That's a word we don't use often enough, conniptions.
It's a great word. And it's perfect for when you're playing this game and are starting to think, oh, things are starting to maybe go wrong.
All right, so nothing from Catfish. It's got to be Pod.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the chance is for Pod, the very first chest in Pod, to have a key, which is typically really all you need to delve a little deeper. But, I think it's a pretty good chance. I've seen it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's something to the tune of like 80% is a key, is what I remember reading somewhere, and I could be completely off and crossing something. Slim going to go ahead and do his Pyramid Fairy and Pyramid check. Hahasell on the way over to Pod.
Yeah, and again, that Pyramid check is totally sensible. That's the same thing I would do.
All right, Hahasell paying Kiki's bribery money.
All right, and we'll get to see shortly what Pod has for us.
I feel like it's got to be a key. It's got to be a key to let us further in here.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And sure enough.
I remember, for those of you who have been part of the randomizer community for a while, if you remember way back to the beginning of the fall open mode tournament, do you remember at some point in time there was some interesting logic between finding the bow in Palace of Darkness, and that if you didn't have the bow and you didn't find it in like the first 3 chests in Pod, then you just wouldn't find the bow in Pod just because of how some weird logic rules worked. I remember that updated halfway through that fall tournament to the point where bow could be pretty well anywhere in there as long as it wasn't behind the bow locked portions. And that change, I think, still messes runners up if they have some of that ingrained routing of avoiding Pod without the bow in them.
Yeah, I'll believe it. I remember I didn't participate in that tournament, but I watched a good many matches, and I remember that update, and I remember there also being a little bit of a soft lock issue, which thankfully has been taken care of. All right, so a key in that chest, not surprising. On the map.
Yeah, when I find the bow in Pod, I almost always find it in this dark room right here with the anti-fairies. I don't know why, but it just feels like it's always here.
Oh, just money.
Oh my gosh, this is stressful.
Yeah, this is. If you're one of the runners, you have to be freaking out at this point, I think, because this was available early, and I don't think there's anything else we can do. Opting for the bomb, the hammer jump.
Got the swag strats going on here, so we'll see what treasure chest. There's the bow.
In the dark maze, of course. And Haha is in go mode.
At 132.45 go mode. That's with only 1 crystal dungeon left to go. I mean, that's two. We have this in Eastern Palace.
Well, Eastern is like right here, so that's really convenient. We have the mirror. It's all good.
Yeah, and Slim is really pretty close, all things said. As soon as he can get over to this other side and pick up the bow, he'll be just kind of half a dungeon behind. And, I mean, it's close enough that solid execution, and I mean, it could come down to something as simple as a left-right gamble in Ganon's tower.
That's correct. I mean, they're separated by maybe 2 minutes. And, you can make up a lot of time with really good execution. All right, these turtles are getting a little bit of a problem. These things are nasty. That's one of the reasons why a lot of runners really hate doing that room in the dark. Understandably so.
Slim's trading keys right now. He's wasting a bit of time. Got to get to that back part, Slim.
Yeah, there's some logic as to whether or not that the chest that normally contains the big key is worth getting. but it's hard to keep that in mind in the stress of the situation.
It's understandable. Haha with a very quick Helmosaur King fight. Silver to the jewel.
Yep. And then Haha will be, I imagine, mirroring right on over to Eastern. Yeah, and these runners they have everything they need. They have the best sword that they can get, because the other one is, locked away behind a 6-minute time gate, basically. They got red mail, they got they got silvers. What more could you want?
I mean, I prefer if Zelda wouldn't keep getting kidnapped myself, but that's just might be me.
Well, I mean, listen, we have to make compromises. Otherwise, how would we get more of these games coming out continuously unless Zelda gets kidnapped?
This is true. The eternal dance that is the Triforce of wisdom, courage, and power at odds with one another.
It's a little formulaic, but, Yeah, Haha's not even opting to pick up anything in Eastern, although I don't believe there were any items of worth anyway.
Nope. And Slim is... What is Slim doing? Slim? Slim, you're in go mode, Slim. You have the bow, Slim.
Maybe it's taking a little time to register. They don't have a key. They
okay, because they burn keys, so he's got a... I see.
And this is why you are careful with that big key chest.
Key management is always key in pod.
Oh, I hate that. But it's true. And that will do it.
Meanwhile, we blinked. Hahasell is done with Eastern and on our way up to Ganon's Tower. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Randomizer community, I have a quick announcement for you. Are you ready to do this game? There are 22 treasure chests in Ganon's Tower that could possibly contain the big key that will allow us to go ahead and complete the dungeon. 1 through 22. Go ahead and get your guesses into chat, because we don't have the same setup that we have over on the Speed Gaming channel, so not entering into any contests or anything like that. Go ahead and get your guesses in. DVO, what's going to be your guess?
Let's see. How do I feel? What did the seed do to us? What do I think it'll do in Ganon's Tower? I'm gonna say, I think it's gonna be a rando room. So that would be what? I guess I'll go with like 16. That sound about right? I'm trying to do the math in my head. It's not working out.
I think random room is actually 10, 11, 12, and 13.
Well, it's right side first, personally, but...
Oh, if you do right side first. Okay. I'm going to go with, you know what? The number I usually guess, I opted not to guess in the last race I commentated on, and that it was that one. So I'm going to stick with it. 8. Firebar room.
That's a good guess. I guessed that last time, and it was incorrect. So, we'll have to see.
SlimKirby with his Helmosaur King fight. He will still have to do Eastern Palace, but that's relatively quick. I believe he already dipped into it, so he's cleared it out. Hahasell didn't really have to do much routing away. Got the big key in the very first treasure chest.
Yeah, I was gonna say that big key is in the best possible place to go mode that dungeon, so. Right side not having any keys at all, so. Number 3, the pedestal.
And with that, Hahasell knocks the key off the torch, and Bob is dead.
Sorry, Bob. You understand, you know, we gotta make our way around this dungeon. So 4 and 5, and 6 and 7 coming right up.
Nope. Remember, the real trick here comes down to a few different things. SlimKirby has made a couple extra trips around. He did full clear Tower of Hera when he did not need to. He got the 2 items out. Hahasell dipped out pretty quick. The other things that he has done, for example, I'm just going through. He had some interesting routing. I want to say that Hahasell was pretty quick to get the fire rod. So Haha had fire rod going through Ice Palace, while Slim had to use Bombo strats and full cleared it. It was just an easier routing and fighting through Ice Rod for Hahasell.
Yeah, lots of little things, and they all kind of added up. And you know, this is the kind of thing that. Oh, and looks like our magic number is 9.
9. Who had 9? GT, whoever had 9, you don't actually win anything. You just, get acknowledged from chat for your telepathy prowess.
That looks like Sports Hefe picked 9, and I believe it's the only one. So GG.
GG, Hefe. Both Hahasell and SlimKirby are, of course, very efficient going through this Ganon Tower gauntlet at the moment. Hahasell on the way up.
Yeah, SlimKirby's gonna need a little bit of something, unfortunately, to make up that time, I think.
Well, this race, it's pretty close, but not terribly close. I mean, these, again, it's just little dips at this point in time. I imagine Hahasell, unless disaster strikes, and it absolutely could, I'm going to say, about a 4.5 minute difference. Slim will probably already be ascending the gauntlet and probably up to about the torch room or so by the time Hahasell completes, unless, of course, something happens.
Right. So yeah, and it's also important to take note. We have a lot of safeties. These runners have basically everything they could want. They got the cape. They got well, they don't have half magic. That's the one thing.
I know Hahasell did burn one fairy in a bottle. Slim has both of them, though, and so Hahasell will still have one. I don't know if there's a potion or not.
Yeah, but fairies, can't help you if you fall on Ganon or something like that. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Okay, SlimKirby's heading to the right side of Ganon's tower. Not going to find a key, and will basically be forced to go left.
That was Kirby guessing. He typed 8. SlimKirby was doing his own guessing game. Okay.
Well, he'll just be one off, so...
I was right there with you, Slim. So Hahasell filling up on magic, not filling up on hearts with the anti-fairies. Didn't use the magic powder. Confident in the strats then.
Yeah, I can't blame him. And you think you have... If you think you can take down Ganon, you might as well give give it a your all, basically.
All right, Hahasell on the Aga 2 fight. We'll see if Aga wants to cooperate today. Not a horrible first setup. Good triple.
Very nice.
I think that was a double.
Yeah, it was hard to see.
Yeah, triple double one. That was very, very nice by Hahasell.
Hard to get better than that. Very well done.
And Slim picking up his 9 and will be starting his gauntlet. Meanwhile, Hahasell is starting the fight on the big pig.
Oh, careful, haha. Oh, geez.
One heart still with a fairy there, so just got to be careful.
Yep.
Great positioning there with being able to do the spins.
Yeah, that'll basically that puts Ganon right into the third phase too. Very nice.
Slim getting trolled a little bit by the mimics.
All right, just one more hit on Ganon to enter the final phase.
Quit warping, Ganon. Cooperate. We want to fill you with silver arrows.
And that's a double right there. And doesn't get the torch glitch, but that hardly matters.
When you can get him right there with another double, that was a very nice, quick phase 4 for Ganon. GG, Hahasell.
Yes, GG.
With the win.
Very nicely done.
Oh, hey. It's you.
My favorite one of those is still I'm sorry, but our Triforce is in another castle.
That is a good one.
I still think of that first part in the in Hawkeye Goff's voice though. You know, I'm sorry.
I think my favorite is going to be Whelp. That just happened because that's usually how I feel about the seeds after I'm done with them.
Oh, that one's a really good one too. Well, someone in chat, Knock, mentioned, I want a Triforce room that says, "Hello, is it me you're looking for?" I second that.
Oh, no, because then I would be singing that and chat would hate me even more.
Well, you know, take the good with the bad, I guess. Wait, I don't know which is which in this case.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's... And joining us now is Hahasell. GG.
Yo, thanks. That was an interesting seed.
It was pretty interesting for sure. I think early on I kind of cursed you guys a bit when I pointed out that the bow could be in pod.
You know, it's actually kind of funny because I ran a seed earlier today where that exact same thing happened.
Yep, because yeah, I was just thinking about things that I would do, and I'm like, I'm stupid. I would jump into that pod right away, probably, just to see. And I kind of wonder how it would have played out had one of you made that jump, because SlimKirby did the same thing that you did, basically leaving it till the very end.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that makes sense because if anything, you're trying to combo pod and Eastern together. And if you go in with the bow, it's just so much easier than you're only looking for big key.
For sure.
So let's talk about the early logic in this seed where Hammer was on Sick Kid, but you had to go up to Death Mountain. There were 3 bottles on Death Mountain. You didn't necessarily need the hook shot. Slim actually avoided the hook shot early, but still managed to get the bottle that was on Spectacle Rock. It was kind of painted a gigantic bright line back to Sick Kid who had the hammer.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think I saw that bottle on Spec Rock until like my next trip up Death Mountain, and then I saw it and was just dying. I was just like, I can't believe they put 3 bottles up here. Like, they couldn't have made it more obvious, or the logic couldn't have been more obvious to go to Sick Kid for something at least.
Yeah, the seed was kind of screaming at you at that point. Like, you know, it almost had like a brain that was, you know, I don't know. It's just a robot that does it, but sometimes I wonder.
See, you say it's a robot, but it's a robot that has developed a sense of humor because it reads chat all day long.
You call that a sense of humor?
The robot doesn't know it's not.
Well, that's a good point.
So were there any points in this seed where you felt like you made good gambles, bad gambles, you were ahead, behind? What was kind of your feeling as you were going through here?
I mean, obviously the big one was pod being like, oh crap, the bow's here. Like, if SlimKirby went there earlier, then, you know, I didn't think there was a chance. But Turtle Rock was a good gamble. I was honestly expecting to find Flute up there. Book was a nice second. But, I mean, if I had gone to pod earlier, then it would have meant get Book, leave Turtle Rock, go do Desert, and then be in go mode, provided I had the bow at that point. But it worked out.
Yeah, and SlimKirby just finishing up Ganon. Nice, clean fight.
So we'll give the official SRL times. Hahasell finished with 148.11. Slim was 153.38. So it was just about a 5-minute difference.
Yeah, I should mention SlimKirby made a lot of just very slight differences in routing from yours that just kind of added up very slowly over time and just kind of left him like just a little bit more behind. But you mostly followed the same logic. There was some differentiation at first, but it all, as it does, it tends to bottleneck, and you're both making the same plays.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we probably both just had the same mentality of not going to pod, because I feel like I checked basically everything else outside of pod. Like, I even went to Lumberjack. I checked Ped just to see if it was magically there, but that was interesting.
Yeah, I think Pod was literally the last place anything could be. I think for both of you guys.
Yeah, it was the very last thing anyone. You guys had checked literally everywhere. You know, the breadcrumbs that this place ran you around. It felt like it was almost pretty linear. Like there wasn't a whole lot of options until you got to the next breadcrumb, but you cleared everything you could in the meantime.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I mean, every dungeon seemed like it had an item that pointed to the next. Like, I mean, even the pendant dungeons had stuff that you needed. Well, except Meyer, but we'll never know what was there.
Rightfully so. Meyer can go something.
I gotta assume that Flute was probably in GT basement if we had kept going, but I don't want to assume that. I just want to be done.
Yeah, what you don't know can't hurt you, basically.
It's funny because we were talking, I think you were going through Swamp Palace, and we were talking about how horrible. In the meantime, here's Slam.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, GG to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Yo, GG Slim. Good race.
Yeah, definitely. Really was. My God, I was scared that Bo was literally going to be in the last location I'd look, and that's exactly what happened.
Yo, same though.
Oh, that happened to you too?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you guys
Oh,
ended
okay.
up following each other's footsteps, kind of hand in hand for the most part. You went to the same dungeons and the same locations. There was a slight routing divergence, Slim. We were really worried about you for a while in the early game. We saw Hahasell run up to Death Mountain or do flippers first to get the hook shot on Hobo, then go up to Death Mountain, and there on the right side were two bottles with the fairies in them. And then we figured out Hammer was on Sick Kid. By the time you went up there, we're like, oh, he doesn't have the hook shot. He's not going to be able to get the bottles. He's not going to be able to get the hammer. What's he going to do? And then there's the third bottle that's up there.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be problematic because, yeah, after assuming that, yeah, he did go straight there because, yeah, I did skip Hobo when I was checking Zora stuff just because it was just one location and it'd be a quick check otherwise. And yeah, when I saw that hook shot there, I was like, oh gosh, okay, I'm going to be losing a lot of time here. I went to Eastern in between that. Honestly, if I would have gotten a hook shot, like when I did the Zora stuff, I probably would have gone to Death Mountain too, and I probably would have actually checked Sick Kid before going to Eastern. So yeah, I figured that was where probably my biggest misplay was in this race.
I mean,
Well,
it's hard to call it a misplay because it was
Right.
just a different gamble, and it didn't work out this time, unfortunately. You also went ahead and cleared Tower of Hera, even though you already had the two items. I was curious, what was your thought process there?
Well, I mean, Hera is such a short dungeon, and you never know what's going to be on the pedestal. Like, this could have easily been a pedestal bow seed if Flute appeared anywhere. So, you know, it's always good to have that just in case, and that was kind of my thought process. It's a short dungeon. I don't want to come all the way back up to Hera just to finish it. So it made sense when I was there, and like, you didn't have to worry about the big chest. I was the closest to Moldorm at that point, so I was like, I might as well go ahead and do this then.
Yeah, unfortunately, that did not pay off.
Nope.
Although it was starting to look like it might, as you know, it was coming down to basically, you know, there was nothing left. If that flute had shown up, then you know, things could have been totally different.
The thing is, the major thing I was banking on here was because I did take a bit of a gamble with Turtle Rock, and thankfully that dip was required for the book to get into Desert Palace. But I figured that, oh my gosh, like, after I checked Pyramid Fairy and didn't get anything from that, and nothing from Desert from that matter, I was like, okay, if Flute is in Palace of Darkness, I know I've lost, because they would my opponent would have gotten there as if he checked Pod early, and he'd probably potentially have the bow too. So like any advantage I had from dipping Turtle Rock would have been literally thrown out the window. So I'm glad I didn't find Flute, but I kind of had a feeling that because bow was like literally the last item, and again, like you mentioned, the early hook shots evasion, I figured that it was kind of over by that point. I'm at least happy I made it to the gauntlet though, before I saw the done in the chat.
I think you guys like were telepathically linked because you both made like the same, other than the Tower of Hera thing, you both made the same gambles. Like you went up to Turtle Rock at about the same time. You were like one room apart in Turtle Rock.
Well, that's pretty cool though. That might be fun to watch back.
Yeah, I think what made Haha have the advantage was just like some small issues, like the that hook shot that eluded you for a little bit, and you went into Eastern and cleared that out when it had nothing. Like these are things that Haha did not do, and those just kind of added up, and it became kind of insurmountable at a certain point.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, in any other seed, like, it could have worked out differently in the opposite way. So, you know, I'm not really, like, disappointed in my gambles, like, because they made sense the way I was making them, and I committed to all of them. And I really, really liked my execution in this seed. Like, I felt like my execution was on point, aside from falling to Moblin. But, like, aside from that, like, I felt like I was playing really, really good. And that's, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'd rather lose a match due to, like, just kind of, like, incorrect routing than just, like, oh, well, I just played terribly, and, oh, okay, I died in this one place, so, yeah, no wonder I lost. But I'm kind of glad that it was at least close, and I probably did make up quite a bit of time with execution because of that.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, you know, overall, both of you guys had really good execution. It was really kind of a delight to watch you fight bosses and do your things. The way you kept, you kind of made a lot of the same routing choices as we talked about, and it made for a very interesting race.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope the viewers enjoyed it as well, and yeah. I'm glad to entertain.
All right. Any last minute thoughts or comments from either our winner Hahasell or SlimKirby?
I did not know that you could despawn enemies in Ice Palace. I learned something new today.
Oh, that's why that was. Okay, we were a little confused.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that would warrant like a DQ, so I just save and quit. I think Mirror resets it, but I didn't want to take the risk, so.
I believe you're right. Yeah, in case chat might be wondering, if you defeat all 3 of the Bari enemies, the jellyfish enemies in that second room, and you go down the stairs at like the right time, you can just, you know, make everything not appear, and you can't do anything anymore.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen, I guess, until now. I didn't realize that case. I'll have to take another look at that, because that's very interesting.
As far as my final thoughts, obviously, good luck next week, Hahasell. Good luck on your next opponent, and obviously, thanks to all the commentators, the tracker, restreamer, and of course, chat for being here to make this a race. So yeah, thank you all.
Yeah, thanks for the match. Again, great game, Slim. That was fantastic. And yeah, I mean, just thanks to all you guys helping out behind the scenes and whatnot, making sure that this thing is, you know, presentable to everyone who's watching on chat. So thanks again.
All right, now seems like a good time to remind people in chat to go ahead and follow our runners at twitch.tv Hahasell and twitch.tv SlimKirby. They play a lot of Link to the Past Randomizer. Seen them play a bunch, and you should check them out.
Absolutely. And the rando keeps flowing tonight, everyone. We'd have, looks like the last restreamed match of the evening is going to be over on ALTTP Randomizer. The original S Diesel versus Murnay is just getting started right now. So if you guys hurry on over there, you'll be able to catch that, the last one for the day. And then we just have tons of matches going on tomorrow. Still getting things set up, but looks like a good, oh God, tons of matches still for the weekend. So the rando is still going.
I mean, there are 512 people in this tournament, so there's going to be matches all the time. And before you head on over, you might want to go to our Trackers Twitch page, twitch.tv Megawatt, and our wonderful streamer, Astolia, at twitch.tv Astolia. And, give them a follow if you are so inclined. There's also the matter of the commentators. I don't know. I don't really care for that personally.
No, the commentary was horrible this time. Just absolutely horrible.
Yeah, so twitch.tv DVOXS and twitch.tv Vitasia,
Yeah, just whatever you want to. All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the rest of the night, guys. Again, signing off. My name's Vitasia.
And I am DVOXS.
And may your seeds always be jet.